A big hello and a warm welcome to all of you amazing and beautiful people out there. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to this channeling session. Whosoever resonates with this channeling session, basically you are going through some kind of a pain or some kind of a issue, either of the two, and it started towards the end of 2022, and after March, April, after you started seeing the issue more in since February, then in March or towards the end of March, April, it became more evident. In the month of May, it was even more evident, and so far you are trying to dabble out of it. Like you've been into it, you experience the issue or the pain. It could either be a body issue or either it could be an emotional issue, or either, when I say emotional issue, it could be something that you have figured out by now. Like you were struggling with something and now you figure out the real reason behind it, the actual reason behind it. And for a lot of people, the actual reason seems to be not love. When I say the reason is not love, what I mean to say is it is not the romantic type of love. The reason could be, of course, love is the base of many emotions, but love is not just one type of love in the world. The people who are very drawn to only romantic love, they are not able to heal other issues which germinate from the lack of love. In fact, the romantic love issues are also coming from love addiction. Love addiction is a type of addiction which is coming from romantic addictions. So we call it love addiction, where a person likes to remain in those thoughts or fantasies or some kind of obsession, limerence. So they are not able to focus on many things, and yet because it's not really happening in real world, they feel a lack and limitation, they feel a pain. So that is one part of it. Let's keep that aside. However, to run your life, you need resources. You need certain support system, you need confidence, you need a bunch of things in order to move forward and progress. And it's very important to understand the needs of the physical world also, because the needs of the physical world is connected. All those needs are connected with your esoteric reality also. Your spiritual world, your emotional world, it's all interconnected, interwoven in a tapestry of energies, of other things. And what is happening with you, if you resonate with this, is that you are trying to find some peace. You are trying to find some peace so that you can run your life and its operations smoothly. And while doing so, you can continue working on yourself, your inner work. Some of the people sometimes have told me that they feel tired. They feel tired of ascension, mission, this, that, Twinflame. Because ever since they got into a certain level of this journey, they have tried to work on themselves. And of course, you have tried to work on yourself a lot. But they feel that nothing tangible is happening. They sense the process, the progress, but they want something tangible. They are looking for something tangible. And you, my dear, whosoever resonates with you, you are actually some steps ahead of these people. So you can see them, you can see those who are suffering, you can see those who are miserable. But even though you yourself are not there 100%, like you may not have that absolute tangible thing in your hand, but you definitely have a lot more than what they cannot see. You are able to trust the timing a lot more because you have now started looking for it in little things. You are not looking for it in big things. There was a time, and maybe all the others who are suffering right now, who's suffering, you can see. You can see, okay, A, B, C, miserable, because they are constantly trying to become something, trying to become, not being. They are not in the zone of just be, they are trying to be, or trying very hard to be. And then they have a list of personality traits, or they have a list of things they want to achieve. They don't see that they were in a bad situation, and now God has taken them out from that bad situation and they are in a much better place. They don't see that. Or even though they see it, they forget about it on certain days, and those days become very taxing for them, very difficult for them. Now for you, why you can relate with these people is because of an on and off issue in your life, or this on and off pain in your life. That's why you can relate with them, because they are also going through that on and off pain. And you can also relate with the other side, which can trust the timing, which knows about divine intervention. Practically they know about it, because they have also looked for it in simple things, in small things. First, that is how you start. You started day by day, step by step. Like every day when you wake up, you think about all the negative things, but you think about them with discernment, and you think about them with how they are trying to put fear into you. Fear, uncertainty. They are trying to put you in a very dark place, because almost everyone is experiencing that pain, and because they experience that pain, they try to use that pain, they try to utilize that pain to get their work done. If I simply talk about it, then it's like playing on other people's fear and pain. You know that it works, you know it will take you at least somewhere, if not them. But most people are doing that. Now, who is the intelligent one? The one who is in fear, or the one who is playing on other people's fears to get things done? Or the new category, the one who does not believe in the fear as such, and does not see the play of all these things, like interwoven together, that I'm gonna show a person some fear, or they already have that fear, and based on that fear I'm gonna get my work or my job done. You are able to see through all these things. So it's for very advanced souls. I call those souls Shiv Shakti souls, because they have already started experiencing the divine masculine and feminine both in them. So what is the issue here is that on certain days, when you look at the people who are in a lot of misery, who cannot see it yet, who are still trying to trust the timing but not able to trust the timing, and those who on days trust the timing and otherwise they don't, and then you are like over there, you have trusted the timing, you have seen tangible results, you have had success in places, in areas where it was impossible. At one time it was in your mind, you knew it, that this thing is impossible to achieve. But you have it now, you see it now, you sense it, you feel it. If I keep doing this over and over again, like whatever I was doing, if I keep repeating this, then obviously there will be healing. And maybe my issue, my pain is connected to that. Maybe my pain is the only thing that will give me freedom. How hard it is to watch the pain when it is really excruciating. How hard it is to watch the pain when it's really troubling. How hard it is to be normal when something is again and again popping out its head. So this is all based on the work that people do when they are trying to manifest something. So you are trying to manifest something, say a relationship or a job or a career or money or anything, a house, a car, something physical. You have to understand that before it happens in the physical, It has to happen within you. And when it happens within you, there is no doubt in your mind. There is no confusion in your mind. People get troubled by the fact that it hasn't happened yet. It can trouble a lot of people. Imagine a person who is doing everything: meditation, studying, research, affirmations, staying by themselves, all of the things they're doing, and they don't see it yet in the physical, whatever they want. How does that person feel? Tired, annoyed, troubled, all of that. You know, the only reason or the only difference between this person and you and someone who's even above you, nothing wrong in saying that, nothing wrong in accepting where you are or where we all are, is that the person who's miserable and troubled is still stuck with doership. Because they are always saying that I do, I am doing. Whereas, it's very interesting, the mantra for Manipur chakra, solar plexus, is also I do. And even though we say I do, it's actually the person is not even doing it. It's happening. So their confidence in saying that I'm doing this, I'm doing it already, that is the I do that I'm talking about. I'm doing it, as in I'm already into this. It is happening. It has manifested already. So this is just a play, and there are many unseen moving parts in the background. There is a lot of behind the scene work that is happening. Before any movie is presented to you, even before it starts filming, people spend so many months trying to put it together. There is a person who writes the story, then that person goes to different producers, pitches that story. Relentlessly, tirelessly, they pitch the stories. So many people give them rejection, but they say, no, it's going to work out, I know that. Because they have already trusted the timing and they already have seen something that makes them feel that it's definitely going to happen. They don't feel that they are really the doer. They feel that some invisible force or some invisible power is actually motivating them to do this, Then they go from one person to another. Maybe it clicks in one go, maybe it clicks in 5 goes, or it clicks in 7 goes. That doesn't matter, because it's just the behind the scene work. Then finally they get a big sum of money also. They get everything going. Now money is also not the problem. Now the actual process, the getting things done, is a problem for them, or a task, if we don't use the word problem. Yeah, we have to be more solution oriented, right? So they start looking for the right actors, they start looking for the right costume designers, the right set makers, the right animation people, editors, whosoever is needed. Some of them are really organized and so good that they write everything down very well. And this is what we talk about in our journey also when we say journaling, writing things down. When we say you write things down, you put things down, because it's not the manifestation that really matters. It is actually the intention that matters the most, because the more clear your intention is, the more concise your intention is, the more detailed, and yet it's a combination, detailed, oriented plus very logical. So there is emotion plus it is very smart, it is very logical. So when everything falls into place, then the intention turns into manifestation. Now a lot of people these days are really troubled with this whole intention, manifestation. Why? Because they have gotten too deep into this process. This is not something that you should go so deep into. This is something that you're supposed to have fun with, supposed to watch it, supposed to observe it. You have to trust that there is reason for the perceived delay, if at all you feel delay. Because anybody who's trying to figure this out, they go through these phases. There are different phases, as I said. The first phase is where a person has realized that they want something, that there is a desire or there is something that needs to be done. The second stage is they feel the crisis. They feel that although I want it, but in my reality, it's not there. I want this thing. I want to go to the moon, but in reality, I'm still on earth. Similarly, I want to go to the 5-dimensional reality, but I'm still in 3D. So there is a difference between their intention, whatever they have recognized as intention, to actually seeing it in physical reality. Then there happens a runner-chaser dynamic between these two extreme poles, opposites. When you see such a big gap, you are thinking in your head, in your mind, like, what's happening? Is this real? Is what I have real, or is what I want, which has not happened yet, real? Then you oscillate from these two areas and finally you let go. Now let go is the place where we start working on trusting the timing. And this is the point where we also, a lot of people in the initial stages also realize that there is a perceived delay. And that delay is the reason of discouragement. That delay is the reason why many a times people feel like this is not even for me. And they see a big contrast. They see this contrast. So two things can happen. Either you look at the contrast and be like, oh my God, this is really driving me into some kind of sadness. Or you can look at that contrast and realize or think that if you are troubled by the contrast, then you have to think whether you are troubled by the contrast, or you are okay with the contrast, or you are just witnessing the contrast, or you care about it, or you don't care about it. You have to check, you have to honestly measure your feelings. That you have a goal, you got to do something, you got to be somewhere. And does it look like a mountain task to you, or does it look like a very simple piece of cake to you? That is what you have to think about. You have to look at things as motivation, not as you don't have it, not as lack or limitation. And after surrender, there comes a phase where you actually feel like, wow, you have all the knowledge now. So there is knowledge now, and there is understanding now. There is a kind of light that is shining within you. No matter what your physical reality is, no matter what your tangible reality is, you have a certain feeling about certain things. And right after that, you see things are falling into place, step by step, one by one. With all the challenges that you've witnessed, with all of the problems you have gone through, with all of the things that you've seen, you realize that, wow, there is actually light at the end of the tunnel. You've reached the end of the tunnel. Now you are walking outside of the tunnel. There was a time you were in the tunnel, and you realize that inside the tunnel also there were lots of interesting things. Though for a lot of people it may look like a dark place, but it wasn't really that dark. Even the tunnel can have lights, even the tunnel can have some places for air or view. Your tunnel can be differently designed. Everybody can actually design their tunnel the way they want, and not all tunnels have to be completely dark or completely scary or dingy or non-airy. It's completely up to you what type of tunnel you're living in, or what kind of cave you have. So after you start seeing things happening, then you start disconnecting with that doer, that person who identifies itself as, I am doing this, I am doing the mission work, I am doing the inner work, I am working on this, I am working on that. Because the more we say that, the more tired we feel. The word co-creator is actually quite soothing. It's very relieving. And to realize that as a co-creator, your job is only to intend. Everything else is done by the co-creator. Everything else. Your job is only to have a pure intention. In my opinion, reaching to the pure intention is also a very big step. Reaching to that point where you realize that this is exactly what I intend to do, or I intend to be, or I intend to attract. Even that clear moment is also an aha moment. And after that, you have to just let it go. But most people don't let it go. So they suffer a lot. There is a lot of fear, there is a lot of worry, there's a lot of speculation, a lot of looking for the proof. If we look for the proof in a negative way, we can either look for the proof or we can find the proof and be happy with it. Many a times I have seen some of the people even realize that what they're gonna wear today, what they're gonna eat today, where they're gonna go today, even that is like predestined or pre-planned. They feel like that. It's a tangible feeling for them, an experience for them. Like they plan the day in a very different way to do something. By the end of the day, they have to complete a task. So they plan the whole day accordingly. But by the end of the day, they complete that task. However, they don't do anything that was planned. They don't go as per the plan. Before, one night before, they had multiple plans. Like, I'm going to do this at 8 a.m. I'm going to do this at 9 a.m. Then 11 a.m. this. Then afternoon will happen. Then evening will happen. They've already planned the whole day. Some of us have meetings and appointments and schedules. So, some of the people who are doing this deep inner work, they actually go so deep. They go so deep that they start seeing the tangibility in every single day. Instead of looking at the big mountain-like task, they start looking for what needs to be corrected. And it's always the same. It's always about letting go. And the trick is to appreciate what's here in right now, here and now. Curiosity is the right word over here. You are curious because when you are sort of thinking this is the way it will happen, it becomes a little difficult to enjoy what the thing is when it's actually happening. But when you're curious, it's literally like seeing, it's like looking forward to how it's going to happen. You are also like in awe of the process, or you're also like, I really want to see how I actually pull this off. That kind of thing, or how the universe makes it real or makes it happen. I really want to see. So the best way is actually the ones who are resonating with this. There are different types of people who are resonating with it, but at the end of the day, all of you are going to take away something, and that is to be grateful for what's in the here and now. And if really it is so hard, it is difficult to feel grateful because of that issue, because of that pain, or because of that problem that keeps coming back. It's fine one day, it's fine for 2 hours, then again it's there, then it's not there, and it's there, it's not there. It is kind of playing a game with you. It is doing some kind of mind trick with you. You feel that way. So then you have to try harder to be grateful. Because gratitude is the biggest gift. It's the biggest magical power that a person has. And ungratefulness is actually a sin. And we all commit this sin and then we all suffer. Because as soon as we start feeling ungrateful, a lot of things, they don't fall into place. That's how it happens. That's how it works. So this is where I'm going to close this session. Thank you so much for being here with me. If you want to work with me one-on-one, then you can check out the description box. And if you want to get my book, again, you can check out the description box because the Amazon Kindle link of the book is given over there. Kindly do buy the book from the Amazon Kindle link only because that's the latest edited version. And the disclaimer for personal session is that please do not share any of your things beforehand. We will talk about it during the session, and because I use intuitive tools and spiritual modalities, I want to be totally unaware of the things when I meet you first. Because when I meet you first, that's the time I would first be scanning the energy and we will talk about things in detail. And most people usually are very surprised. I am also very surprised. So all the credit goes to Masters and Source for sharing certain things about people even when they have not personally, physically, or say in the tangible reality shared it. I will see you soon in another one. One love, peace out, and Jai Shri Ram.